All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Ufun Dominators Team webinar. This is May 4th, 2015, and this is a great update webinar that we got. And we're going to give a chance for people to get online here. But I'm going to go ahead and get some introductions out of the way, because if you're not here right on 7 o'clock, you're going to miss some fantastic people getting introduced. So we've got Jamison Palmer is on. Jamison Palmer has been flying all over the world. He's currently in the United States, but I don't think for very long. But he is here. He's one of the main team leaders of the Ufun organization, and you've seen him in all the videos, so got a celebrity in the house, so that's nice to have Jamison here. Then we got Rodney Burton all the way from his basement in DC. And he just recently returned from Malaysia, so he's stateside right now, but you never know what country Rodney's going to be in. And then we got good old Bryant here. He's another big hitter in our Ufun Dominators team, so we got him online here as well today. So, and then my name is Michael Mansell, in case you guys didn't know.
Superstar Michael Mansell.
Superstar Michael Mansell.
For a couple hours out of the day. Outside of that, it's kind of iffy, but we're all here, so we're going to give some time to get people on, and then we'll take turns speaking here. But I just want to break down kind of why we're doing this webinar here really quickly. First and foremost, we want to give a good, solid, live update of what is happening right now in Ufun and where we're headed and some of the exciting things happening, and get a very raw update from Rodney Burton, who was over there in Malaysia for a lot of cool things that happened while he was there, including some ceremonies and some grand openings. We've seen some videos online about that, but we'll hear it from Rodney himself. And then we'll also get some updates from Jamison, and then just some general team updates and some of the stuff that we're doing right now and where we're headed. So that's kind of the purpose of this evening. We've got 80 people registered, and there's about 45 people online right now, so people are still coming online. Rodney, I'm going to throw it over to you. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
What's up, guys? What's going on, you funners, you dominators? We're going to give it, I guess, 2-3 more minutes for people to get on. Most times, people are never on time for certain things, including myself. So what I'll do right quick is give a quick shout out. You guys hear me okay? You guys can hear me okay? Say hello or yes in the inbox.
You know, Rodney, are you using headphones? Because I'm getting a pretty strong echo.
No headphones. Headphones are right here.
I got no echo coming through, Jamison.
Okay.
Everybody says yes. I guess I'm sounding pretty good.
Yeah,
okay.
You sound clean.
All right, good. Glad to hear that. Want to give a big shout out to Mark, John, Brian, Barbie, Michael Mansell. Who else is on here? Antoine, Commander Thomas, my main man. Young, Charlie, Sonia, Ash, Powell, Garrett, Winston, Becky, Arzian. Or son, I guess. No.
Arkson.
Your name up. I don't mean no harm at all. Miguel, what's going on, bro? So those are some of the names that I see right now. Marlon, Ada, Paul, John. Okay, Cedric, S-E-R-I-C-K. All right. And as you guys know, I will probably I should shout out how long the list is. But guys, I just want to give you guys a quick update on things that are happening out there in the Ufun land. We know we've had some ups and some downs, but our downs are getting better. We got a strong team. We got, guys like Bryant and Michael and myself. We're gonna bring you guys the truth, the real truth, instead of you may see in the tabloids or on blogs. They just say some rude things about us, and we're here to set the record straight. So ask your questions over here on the side box, and we'll do our best to answer them all. And if we don't have answers for it right now, we'll answer it later on. So somebody says, yes, there's an echo. Let me see if I can get rid of that echo. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, usually I found that it's without using headphones, there's a feedback loop that starts happening.
I'll just mute myself with the questions. Go ahead, Michael.
All right, man. Thanks for calling everybody out there. We are going to jump into it here at 7:06. We've got about 50 people online now, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is being recorded. We'll post it in the group, and everybody that's registered will automatically get an email with the replay. So anybody who didn't get online today, make sure you get it sent to them and share this webinar with them, because this will really keep your people connected and give them an update and get them a feel of what is currently happening with Ufun and where we're all headed. So we're very excited. There's a lot that's been happening. There's been some ups and downs, obviously. Some of the stuff that's been happening over in Thailand has had its ups and downs, and I know I'm going to be very real here starting out, and that is just that it has definitely affected some people that were considering joining Ufun. I feel sorry for those people because they got introduced to it at a time where there was some information that was being given out to all over the world, really, that was not honest, and it was not in line with what was the truth. And so it's definitely discouraged some people from jumping in. But the people that did jump in and get started and had faith in the people that were already experiencing the growth and the benefits of being part of Ufun and purchasing their U tokens are really going to be heavily rewarded, because in spite of some of the questions, they still went ahead with it and they still joined. I mean, we have been having people join our team left and right. Anybody that tells you that people are not joining Ufun because there's been some tough stuff happening over in Thailand right now, is that they don't know what they're talking about. Signups have been going crazy still, so I just kind of wanted to lead with that. We're going to touch on some of that as well here still, but I want to throw it over to Jamison. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what's going on, man.
Yeah, I'm Jamison Palmer. Thanks for coming out, and I want to continue along with what was just said, because I want to get a proper perspective on the Thailand incident. You know, we're talking about digital currency, and I did put out a video talking a little bit about the Thailand situation, and there's no question, you know, there were quite a few things that were happening in Thailand. You know, the Ufun office, the police did come into the office, and they were trying to build a case against Ufun. However, everything is business as usual. And part of what I talked about in that video is Bitcoin was actually banned in Thailand 2013, and that had no impact on Bitcoin whatsoever. And so everything that had been going on in Thailand, first of all, there were rumors that, oh, you know, Ufun's going to get shut down because of what's happening in Thailand. Well, first of all, it's impossible. Ufun is not going to be shut down because of what happened in Thailand, no matter what. And then taking that even further, Thailand had the government, some of the people, part of the police organization at Thailand, they were reaching out to Malaysia and saying, hey, you know, we're dealing with this Ufun situation in Thailand, and Malaysia said, we've already looked at it, and we don't have a problem with Ufun. And then the latest was there was a statement made by the Prime Minister of Thailand, and he essentially said, well, everything that you guys have, talking about the police, everything that you guys have, I don't see anything wrong. There's no criminal activity or anything else here. And so the Thailand incident, putting it in perspective, no matter what happens in Thailand, it's not going to affect the U token in the long run, and it has no chance of shutting the company down or anything like that. And you know, it's unstoppable at this point. So if you've heard rumors that Ufun's getting shut down, it's just not the truth.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you saying that. Jamison, you know, was over in Thailand and Malaysia as well, and so he's got a firsthand experience of what goes on over there. And the reality is that Ufun has offices in 10 different countries. That's absolutely right. Ufun is way bigger than Thailand itself. So I really just want to say I appreciate everybody who kept the faith through that time where there was questions about what was going on, and the people that really got behind everybody else and really was cheering each other on. That really showed the true character of the people that are involved, all the way from the people that are in Thailand to the people that are in the United States. And I know for a fact that it is difficult sometimes to feel connected to what's going on in different countries when we're not there in person. But that's why I so appreciate guys like Jamison and Rodney who are not afraid to hop on a plane and just go over there and find out for themselves firsthand, and then they can report back to us. And we have a huge advantage with our team because we are so well connected to the corporate office, and we're so well connected to what is actually going on. We don't have to rely on the information of you know, other faulty websites that are just trying to get attention to their own products and their own sites by spewing any information that they get, whether it's founded or not. So we don't have to really harp on that a very long time. If anybody has questions about anything, feel free to please still ask them. And you know, we're completely transparent here, and there's nothing that we're not afraid to talk about here. So feel free to ask any questions. But I'd really like to focus tonight on what are the most current happenings with Ufun. What's the status of the gateway coming? What's the status of marketing systems and replicated sites and all of that good stuff? But before we get into that, I want to throw it over to Bryant because I want to give him a chance to introduce himself. He's out there killing it. He's supporting his team, and he's really making some waves. So go ahead and unmute yourself there, Bryant, and let's hear from you.
Okay, can you hear me, guys?
Yep,
okay.
Can hear you.
I'm Bryant Barbie. Stationed out in Dallas, Texas. Man, ever since I seen Ufun, man, it's just been crazy because I have been watching the cryptocurrency and digital currency for the past 3 or 4 years, and I knew, you know, where everything was going. So what happened with me was one of my friends showed it to me, and I kind of said, "Oh, this is another one of those Bitcoin things." I really didn't look deep into it or everything, but he came back to me again. So 12 hours, me and my wife sat, and we went through every little thing of what's happening right now in the world. We said, you know, right now is the time for a digital currency that's backed up by something. So I saw Jamison's video, and it just took me, it blew me away. So plus, if you look at, like mentioning Bitcoin, even though we're not anywhere near Bitcoin, they have come and built the infrastructure for a Ufun to come through and to be able to prime. They really prime the world for what Ufun is doing now. You got a lot of companies like IBM. I was just reading they're coming out with their own digital currency. Apple, they have Apple iPay. You've got Google Wallet. A lot of companies are trying to get on, you know, with the digital currency and the cryptocurrency world now. So it just makes sense to do this. You know, it makes sense for Ufun to, you know, to fix all of the problems like not being backed up by anything and stuff. Along with, like you said, Michael, we don't want to harp on or anything, but even though with the little problems we've had in Thailand, and I'm sure people see things the way we do, we have had people still trying to get in to Ufun. They don't really care. You know, a lot of people don't care, but then some who don't really understand, those are the ones, you know, who I call it a washout, where, you know, they didn't really understand what they were getting in the first place. So, you know, just wanted to introduce myself and, you know, just tell you guys what's going on with me.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I'm glad you jumped on the webinar tonight and get to put a nice visual face to all the work that you've been doing out there. I'm just reading in the chat over here. You got a lot of fans out there too, man. You got everybody saying that you're the man and go, brother Bryant. So that speaks a lot to your integrity and what you bring to the team. So I appreciate you having you in, and we've had some good conversations, and I'm just looking forward to furthering all of our team's relationships.
Most definitely.
So let's get into some updates from Rodney here. I know that there are some people that might be on this webinar that may not even be in Ufun, because I know there were some team members that were promoting this to people that weren't in yet, or still just kind of exploring the idea of it. So I just want to let you guys know that we will throw in some information about Ufun and UToken. This is really specifically a team update, but what better way to experience what we're doing and why we're so confident about why we're doing it than to experience our team atmosphere and how supportive we are and how much we care, each and every one of us. I'm not just trying to toot our own horns as leaders. What I'm saying is, like, everybody that's involved in the Ufun Dominators team cares about each other. We get each other's backs. We cheer each other on, whether it's on social media or offline. And so you're definitely in the right place to experience that. But Rodney, go ahead and give us a little update on what you experienced over there in Malaysia and some of the things that you've had a hard time keeping your excitement under wraps. You're muted. Unmute yourself, Rodney.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go.
Good. A lot of great updates. Number one, I want to talk about when I was in Malaysia at the Gateway Claim event. You know, there were rumors of that the police were there locking everyone up, and it was going to be canceled. And there was so much, how high does this thing go up? You know, the scale of individuals who were involved. And when I was there, I did a video. There was no one there getting locked up. There was no one canceling the event. There was no situation where people were in trouble or anything of the nature that you may see on these blogs. And they're going to twist, you know, our words. I'm sure tomorrow this will be out probably on whatever blog, and they'll twist our words again. But my job is to go to wherever the situation is, get the truth as I see it, and bring it back to you guys so you guys know exactly what's going on, because not only your money, our money is also involved in this, and we want to be transparent as we can with you guys. While I was there, and what I gathered is this: Ufun is putting together tons and tons of deals where they're buying properties or getting involved in these deals, and as they get involved in these deals, that is what drives the price of the actual UToken. You know, them getting into this deal here with Gateway Claim, another deal they're doing, you know, with a nickel mine, another deal dealing with precious metals. So the more deals in real estate that these guys are into that produce income, that will drive the price of the UToken. And I think that Jamison later on will touch a little bit more on that. But as I was going to Indonesia, Jakarta, as I was in Thailand, as I was in Bangkok, as I was in Malaysia, I also got to sit down with, you know, in a meeting with the heads and find out what's coming. One of the things that is coming is an affiliate back office, meaning that in the back office there will be ways to track your teams, even the ones who are not also in English, because most of this started in Asia. So sometimes you may recruit somebody who's further away. So you'll be able to track them, see what they're doing. They can be able to contact you. They're adding a lot of new stuff to the back office. It's not going to happen overnight. It may take a few weeks for this stuff to get into the back office. But as I saw it, I mean, there's tons and tons of new stuff that are coming to make this more easier for us as we know it. They've been doing well for a long time the way that they do it, and that's how they do it. But we're here in the Western world. We want everything fast, today, right now, and it's not like that right now. So we get a little bit frustrated because I understand that. With a little bit of time and being just holding tight for a second, these things will be in place. The biggest question is, where's the gateway? The gateway, I think, is about maybe a couple days away, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, with a company. I don't want to mention the name public right now because I'm sure they may try to sabotage that. But you will see the information in your back office inside of the actual update section on how to use it. It will be similar to the way we've been doing it, where you'll be able to go in your back office and you get the person's name, information, enter into the system, looks like they were 10 points or whatever, and then you give them a link to the actual gateway. They go to the gateway, they upload their funds like to an e-wallet, and it'll automatically update in your back office. Almost the exact same way as we've been doing it, just a lot easier. They will be able to do any amount that they choose to through that gateway also, using their debit card, credit card, or ACH, meaning from your bank account to their account. So we want to do any more wires. They're going to be having multiple ways of getting funds to the company, so it won't be an issue as it was in the past. We had our ups and downs with bank wiring here and there, and that's a learning experience, growing pain that we have to go through in order to become successful. And I heard Michael, saying that yeah, we had issues. Yes, most large companies that I know of who are very, very huge now had issues in the beginning. Some still even today. But does not mean that they're scams. Does not mean that they're bad. Does not mean they're trying to scam you out of your money. And there has been companies in the past who just took people's money and ran, and with no explanation. One thing I learned about Ufun is these guys aren't really renting their buildings, their properties. They're buying these buildings, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So these buildings have their names across it. These are not leased or assigned. These are permanent buildings. One of the questions I think I saw in the chat was from a guy by the name of Mark, and Mark said, for some of us who are still holding 10 points accounts and we're promised great rewards for signing up during the setback times, yes, you will be getting extra U points for that. Look for the updates for that in your back office. You get investment points, you get U points, and it'll be back there, I think, within the next day or two. So, or maybe even back there right now, because I remember reading something about that recently. I think I posted something about that also. So, yes, you will be getting extra U points and things of that such for hanging in there with us during the hard times and setbacks. Some of you guys who have tip accounts, we're working on that right now and getting those straight. I sent in, I think me, myself, Mike, all of us sent in wires to get those 10 points to permanent this week. Remember, Ufun is actually a day ahead of us because they're on the other side of the world. So right now they're just getting up in the morning, and I should have some answers within the next few hours in getting those accounts from temporary to permanent. Okay? So hope that, Mark, answers your question right there.
Rodney, I'm gonna add something to that real quick.
Go ahead.
Just want to make something really clear about those temp accounts. The reason they set up the temp accounts is because there were delays in getting the money and the funds over, and Rodney and I and Bryant, we've all been helping everybody get their money sent over. But even after it got sent over, it's still been a lot of work on our parts to make sure that the paper trail is there and that all the funds are verified and that those accounts are going to get activated, which that's what Rodney and Brian and your other team leaders have been working on, and Jamison has been helping out in this. But I just want to really clarify that those temp accounts were set up so that you guys could get your U token price locked in. So I just want to make it really clear that even if it's a temp account, you're still gaining the increases every time the U token value goes up. So even if it's a temp account, it's essentially a full-blown account. It just has some limitations to it, which is you can't withdraw funds, and none of the bonuses or commissions are gonna be activated until those accounts are fully activated. But in terms of time passing, we're working as hard as we can to get those all activated. But I just want to make it really clear that you guys are gaining the increases each time the U token goes up if you have a temp account.
That is very, very true. One thing I've also found out that these guys, they're extremely dedicated in making sure that this thing works. Extremely dedicated. This is not I think a high fly-by-night company that's going to be here today, gone tomorrow. They've gone through great lengths in order to make sure this works well for them as well for us also out here in the field. And they definitely are putting a lot of things in place for this to be a lot more streamlined in the near future. Once the gateway opens up, you guys are going to see a real huge influx in the actual value of the U token. It won't be so fast or won't be too slow. It'll be right there in the middle where you want it. You don't want the actual price of the U token to rise too fast or it to be too slow. You want it to be very, very moderate so it grows, with a great pace. So get ready for the actual share to move a little bit faster, but not too fast, and you make money that way. Remember, you have two parts to this. One is you have the marketing arm, the one that we're using right now, and the other is the shares of the actual U token, which is moving steadily up and up and up. And I think the part that Jameson is gonna explain on what drives that price. Aren't you, Jamison?
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them about how the how the actual money is made with the value and how what Ufun is doing by buying all these properties and business deals would drive the price of the U token.
Yeah, so and this is really, this is what really grabbed me and drew me into U token when I've talked about it before. I've been involved with cryptocurrency. I own quite a few different cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, and that was going to become one of my primary focuses for the future because, I mean, what we're staring at right now is one of the biggest changes in the financial industry of our lifetime. And so we're looking at a paradigm shift, in the financial world. I mean, this is where I've spent a lot of my time. A lot of my friends, business partners are in the financial industry, and that's essentially where the money's at. The insurance companies, the financial companies, these are some of the most profitable companies that there are in the world. And so again, what we're staring at here is a major paradigm shift with the digital currencies, and we know that, and it's been said by some very smart people. They believe that the digital currency is going to have more of an impact than even the internet, that it's bigger than how the internet has impacted our lives. And so, when it comes to Bitcoin, Litecoin, these different cryptocurrency type coins, as we understand, they're not backed by anything. And so with the U token, we've got the first digital currency with a true reserve system, and most of you watching this understand that back when the US dollar was backed by gold, essentially when it was first getting going, it was essentially a receipt that represented a specific amount of gold. And what we have here, it's revolutionary in that it's even better than as if it was backed by gold, because as we understand, the price of gold fluctuates. It goes up and down. Well, what we're looking at here is it's such a brilliant business model, but we've got a reserve system that's backed by profit generating assets. And so the Gateway Claim Project, the marble mining project, the nickel mining project, and some of these projects that are getting ready, some of them have been talked about a little bit, but there are other projects that the information is going to be coming out about. I mean, we're talking about massive, massive, highly lucrative projects where what's happening is, so the U token is backed by these profit generating assets, and profit from these projects are flowing into the reserve, increasing the value of the reserve and pushing up the value of the currency, which is, it's pretty mind-blowing when you really begin to grasp what Ufun has done with this breakthrough model. I believe personally that we're going to see a lot more of the digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, trying to follow this model, because it just makes so much sense. And I want you to think about this for a moment. Like I said, I own different cryptocurrencies. I've got Bitcoin. Well, my Bitcoin doesn't represent anything. My U tokens actually represent the Gateway Clang project, the marble mining project. So real multi-billion-dollar projects. My U tokens represent those projects. And so do you want a cryptocurrency, a digital currency that represents nothing, that's based on supply and demand, or do you want a digital currency that actually represents profit-generating assets outside of, say, the U.S., outside of wherever it is that you are? Now you've got a stake in these massive projects. And so, like I said, it's a pretty amazing concept, and I've said before, anyone that tries to stand in the way of what's happening right now with this currency, either they fear it, they don't understand it, or they have some type of an agenda, because it's a sound business model. And so I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I appreciate you breaking that all down. I'll add something in terms of these big projects like the Gateway Clang and those big projects. You guys got to understand, those projects, those multi-billion-dollar projects, they don't just happen overnight. That's not something that Ufun just decided, oh, let's do this big project right now and that'll look good to everybody. They've been working on those, I believe, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jamison, but for years. They've been working on the relationships, they've been working on the connections, they've been working on the negotiations of it, and they're just now coming to fruition where they're able to talk about them and they're able to have big ceremonies like Rodney got to experience firsthand when he was there. And we are all at the right time, at the right place, to where by purchasing our U tokens, we're going to get to enjoy the benefits of all the hard labor that the Ufun corporate and all these guys have been working so diligently on to bring to fruition. Now is the time to purchase the U tokens so that we can then benefit from everything that's been going on behind the scenes for the last couple years.
Absolutely. And one thing to add to that, you know, and that's one of the real beauties of what we have in front of us right now is, just like Michael just said, you know, it's not what I like to see when it comes to an opportunity. I like to see a barrier to entry. I like to see that not just anyone can jump into the game and create competition. And so it is through these relationships and because of the people that the leaders have, the business network that Ufun has developed over the years, and the contacts and everything else. Not just anyone can decide, oh, you know, we're going to back our currency and we're going to do these multi-billion-dollar projects. I mean, if you thought you were going to do a multi-billion-dollar project, where would you even start? I mean, you've got to have the network. You've got to know the right people. And so there's a huge barrier to entry, and that's pretty exciting.
You know, the engineering firm and construction firm that's doing this deal behind the Gateway Clang is one of the largest in China. So these deals that these guys are doing over in Asia, they're not fly-by-night companies. These are some of the hugest. I mean, there's one deal that's coming. I don't know if I can mention it. You know, it's going to be in the multi-billions of dollars. And I read somewhere where people were saying, well, you know, why is Rodney so excited about these deals? Where, you know, is it like he's going home with the money in his pocket? No, I'm not going home with the money in my pocket. However, these deals are backing up the funds of guys like us who are working hard to fund our pockets, you know, later on. That is the reason why I'm excited about a company who's putting so much in to these large corporations, these conglomerates that will be, you know, generating a great deal of wealth, which puts back money into our pockets. That is one of the major reasons the Ufun is getting involved in multiple billion-dollar deals, because we are, one, a marketing arm, and also the value rises with the profits. And that is how we're going to actually become successful in what we're doing. I've been in this since I think Christmas Eve, and I mean, I'm 1,000% excited about it, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Man, I love a pretty good fight, and if it was going to be that easy, then everybody would be doing it. And so if you have a little bit of rain, a little bit of storm, it's going to be okay. All I gotta say, guys, to stick with us. Share it with your friends. It's gonna get better a lot quicker than you think, and we're almost to the end of this drama that they've been putting out there about us. I can almost guarantee you that. Let me answer some more of these questions if you guys don't mind. Let me
If you
see.
don't mind, I just want to jump in here real quick. And there's a question that keeps coming up, and there's obviously a misunderstanding about the split and how the split works.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I just want to address that real quick. So some people they seem to think that when the currency splits, that all of a sudden you have 10 times the value that you had, and that's not it. Essentially, when the currency splits, when the U token splits, let's say it goes from a dollar, when it splits, let's say it goes from a dollar to 10 cents. Okay, yes, you have 10 times the number of U tokens that you had before, but you've got the same amount of value. So if you had a dollar's worth of, let's say you had one U token that was worth a dollar, and it goes down to 10 cents, now you've got 10 U tokens that are worth 10 cents each. Okay, so that's how the split works. It doesn't magically multiply your money by 10 or anything like that. So I just want to make sure everyone's clear on that.
Hey,
Yeah,
Gary,
yeah, thanks.
I wanted to say
Okay.
something real quick. Can I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead, Bryant.
Hey, look, I was just listening to what Jamison was saying about the digital currency and the cryptocurrency. People got to realize that this is a disruptor technology. What that means is that this is changing the way that the world is about to do business. This is huge. The same way when we was way back in the 70s, we were on vinyl. And we went to cassette tapes, and we went to CDs, and then we went to DVDs, and then now look at it, we're in digital. You see, so and every one of those paradigm shifts, each one of them took a span of time for them to mature, to where they were big. And when every time this happened, major companies start adopting this technology. So, like everyone's saying, we are pioneers, and we're at the very forefront of this. Just wanted to make that point so people can understand that.
It's a great point.
Yeah, great point. Paul had the question. He says that the marketing arm, how long the marketing arm lasts. Great question. Guys, let me tell you why you need to get excited. Those who, now remember, this is the company that you don't really need to bring anyone in to share in the revenue or to make income. However, for those who do share with others, you're going to make a great deal of income if you share it with enough individuals. And it's not like you need a bunch of individuals to do well. Some of the guys who were making close to $1 million a month only brought in 8 people in the beginning, 8 frontline individuals, and those 8, did their deal and did well. And now these guys are doing $1 million, $500,000, $1.5 million a month. Okay, now with Ufun getting involved in all these different gateways and conglomerate deals, maybe from a year to a year and a half from now, maybe or around a year, the marketing arm will cease to exist. Meaning that there won't be no part like we're doing right now. We're sharing with others. The team you have built, because what they have in place with the great investment deals, that will pay us automatically. We're able to buy stock or be compensated because we're in right now. Those who get in right now will be definitely taken care of later on. So there will be no more need for a marketing arm for Ufun after a while. That is the question that a lot of individuals have, is what's going to happen to the marketing arm, because they can see already what's about to happen. I mean, it's just like those who got with Alibaba. Most of the employees in Alibaba now are very wealthy because they bought the stock. And all they did was just buy the stock, and now they're very, very well off. That's the same exact thing that I think is going to happen with Ufun. And there have been talks about that happening in the future, but not today, not next month. They're still adding a lot of new stuff to make sure we're able to do a great job with marketing, with compliance, to make sure we say the proper things to the proper people and not mislead individuals, in joining, say, hey, join today, we'll make you rich tomorrow. No, there's some work involved in some areas, and in some areas you have to, put your funds in and wait for it to get to that point, for IPO. And based upon all the things that we're doing right now with Ufun, their IPO looks real close, real soon, or a split, or whatever comes first. We have no exact date, but I can say, based upon what's going on right now, it looks very close. And that's, quote me or unquote, it looks very close. So that's about right. Jameson, what do you think?
I wanna add that's great information. Some meetings that I've had, I spent a lot of time in Thailand and have had the privilege of being involved in quite a few different conversations with top executives, and the compensation model, the distribution that's taking place now, the marketing arm that we're using, that we're being compensated for right now. There is talk about in the future, not for UToken specifically, but once you've established distribution, once you've established your network, that there is talk about introducing other products and services that may be introduced to that same distribution network. So if your concern is that oh, I'm going to build this distribution and then that's going away, don't worry about that. And it's not even worth talking about right now, because we're not even beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible. But understand that there's power in distribution. Once you have a distribution network set up, then there are a lot of ways to harness that distribution to profit. And so they understand it well, and so there's a lot to look forward to in the future.
Yeah, I think another thing that they were talking about when we were in Malaysia in a private meeting is because of our numbers. Right now, we're about 400,000 people strong, okay? And think about what happens when we're 1 million or 2 million or 3 million people strong, and most of the large companies in the world would want to join forces with Ufun because our marketing arm is so strong. And right now, the UToken is our start of that distribution. Then there will be Unispace. Then there will be this. Then there will be that. There will be so many other things that are out there that Ufun will be putting in place for us to become, well off with. That is exactly what they're doing right now, and that is what's exciting to these other major companies that are joining forces with Ufun. If that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, that's the good points. I mean, I get that question asked a lot of, well, when is this going to happen, and when's that going to happen? When's the split? When's the marketing arm? And those, I get why people ask those questions, and I'm not knocking anybody for thinking that or asking those questions. The reality is that none of us, Bryant, Jamison, Rodney, anybody, we can't predict the future. All we can do is go based on past experience and what we know to be the trend or the direction that digital currency is headed in, that cryptocurrency is headed in, and that Ufun as a corporation and the direction that they're taking and where they see themselves heading. So none of us here can say when something is going to happen or what's going to happen, but we can tell you what we recommend that you do right now, and that is get as much UToken as you possibly can and share the opportunity with as many people as you can. And if you focus on the actions that you're doing right now rather than what's going to happen tomorrow or next year, then when those things do happen down the road, you'll have put in the work to reap the most benefits from it. And I think that we should be more focused on what we're doing about it right now than what's going to happen 6 months, a year down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, Michael. I cannot pound on this enough. That go hard in the paint now. I mean, now's that time to grind through the good times and through the bad times. And I believe when the smoke clears, you'll feel a lot better that you put forth the effort, the activity, and listen, use your uplines to help you. I mean, whether it be myself, whether it be Bryant, Michael, Jamison, whoever it may be, we'll be there for you and do all that we can. Also, become a leader yourself and build your team. Okay, become a leader. Find the information. Ask for it. I mean, that's the reason why when it comes down to finding the truth, I try my best to fly to wherever it may be and get the information from the live sources myself and be able to bring it back to you guys and say, look, what you heard was not real. This is what's real. This part did happen, but it's not as they're making it to be, and so on and so on and so on. So that is the reason why we waited to today to have this hangout, because there was more information that was coming in. I didn't want to do 2 webinars back to back. I wanted to get as much info as I could up until this date and give it to you all at one time. Sonia says, how can we share? Okay, a lot of you guys who just came in just now or in the last couple of weeks, in the beginning, you know, there's a video that Jamison put out or made, and we've been using that video through, you know, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and as such. Get that video, give it to your upline, Sonia, I guess I'm your upline, and send that same video that I sent you to the ones that you want to see exactly what's going on. I think Jamison also is doing an updated video soon. Am I correct, Jamison?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get an updated version, and I'm glad you brought that up, because because of a lot of the new information, a lot of what we know now. I mean, the new information, what we can share with the world now, it's going to be 10 times as powerful as that first video. Plus, you know, and that's one of the things that we want to begin to do, and this is one of the things that we've been talking about is, you know, we really need people like yourself, those of you that are involved with us on this project. The one thing is the social proof on our own, and so that's one of the things that we want to begin to do is start collecting the testimonials, the success stories, you know, short video clips of how excited people are about what we're up to, and that combined with the new information, it's gonna be powerful stuff.
Hey, let me ask you a question for Paul. Paul wants to know, is there any testimonials of success of people that did not sponsor and made money? Yes, I have a video of a gentleman in Thailand who made several $1 million and brought not one, I think he brought one person in, maybe 2, and I'll put that video into the group. I just got to find it, Paul. But yes, I do have proof, or at least a video of a guy who gave a testimonial of how much he made without sponsoring. So remind me of that, Paul. Just remember that. I'll put that video in the group for you to share with others. Okay?
And one more thing to add about that with Paul's question. I mean, the reality of anybody that wants to purchase the U token and you know, purchase one of the packages, the star levels, and has no intention of referring anybody and doesn't have any intention of making any income off of the marketing arm of this, the testimonial right there is going to be in the percentage difference of when they purchase their U token and the price increase down the road. I mean, that there in itself, the fact that the U token is going up in value is a direct reflection that those people that got in, say a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, have made an increase on what they originally paid for their U token. So in terms of direct testimonials, if people are not going to invite anybody into the opportunity, that's a direct proof. Every time the U token value goes up, there are people out there that are increasing their value and their wealth because they own U token.
Yeah, also, when I talked to a lot of the individuals who did very well without sponsoring, they started off small and kept putting money in, kept putting money in, kept putting money in, and their families were putting money together and putting money in. So they just didn't buy one package and then got rich. I mean, it wasn't like that. They put in quite a bit. And remember, they've already had 4 splits, I believe, before any of us got in, you know, on this marketing panel right here. So, and the question is, well, how many more splits will there be? Well, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I've heard, and this is what I gathered in between the lines. There's a possibility there'll be another split, but what happens? Maybe an IPO may come before that, or who knows what happens? But guess what? Let's say it does not split and the IPO comes. If you're waiting for a split at $1 and it goes IPO, what happens if it goes to $50 or $100 because it's IPO now? Then that's even better. But then again, it may have a split and then IPO, which is even more better. So if either one of those comes, it's still going to be great. It's still going to be good either way it goes. And I don't think anyone has information of a date of when. They have projections based upon, you know, what happened in the last 4 times. And sometimes projections can be off or right on time. But who knew that this situation was going to happen with us? So it may come quicker, may come faster. We don't know, but it looks good based upon what I'm seeing right now. So that's all I can tell you about that question. And people ask me how soon for the split, for the projections, things of that sort. Looks good, and once everything starts to settle down, we get the gateway in place, we get the affiliate arm put back in the back office. A lot of stuff. Let me tell you what Eddie Tan told me. Eddie Tan told me, so I'm putting this out there live. Once that gateway hits, he said you will not be even able to catch how fast it's going to rise, which is a lot faster than it's rising right now. Okay, so you won't be able to catch it. It's rising so fast, and that is a good thing. We don't want to go too fast or too slow, just enough, for the market. And I'll repeat that again, just enough for the market. Hope that answers your question there, Paul. And Arkson, does Ufun have landing pages available yet? No, I mean, you'd be surprised. When I was in Thailand, a lot of these guys didn't even use computers. I mean, I don't know how they got so big so fast without having access to, or they may have access, but they're not using it like we use it here in the Western world, as far as marketing on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, things of that sort. These guys have done well without doing that. However, since we are in the Western world, that stuff will be coming, and that's part of the affiliate part they're adding to the back office, landing pages, capture pages, the whole 9 yards. Also, I think that myself and Jamison, and I believe Mike also, will be coming up with some share codes for landing pages. We're just waiting for everything to get in place before we actually put it out there. Because once we get things moving a little bit more smoothly, we can start handling the numbers of individuals that will be coming in droves inside of Ufun. We can't do it as of yet because we want to make sure that that we have the basics covered first. If you bring in a lot of individuals, millions of people come in today, and we don't have these things in place, it could be a headache to us. So we want to make sure we get things going a little more smoother before we actually, put this stuff out there. And it's coming because I've seen a lot of the stuff firsthand at this meeting in Malaysia. It was mostly in Mandarin, but I understood. We said affiliate and this, that, and the other, and they broke it down to me. So it's definitely coming. But guess what? At this point right now, we've been able to bring in and do very well with none of that. Just a video that Jamison put together, word of mouth, belly to belly. And when people are dropping 50, 100, 200,000, $500,000, they want to see more than a link. They want to talk to you. They want to know that that you're in contact with some of these owners, or they want to be able to fly out there themselves. So sometimes the personal touch is very, very needed. So and it's good, to be in contact with some of your downline other than sending a link out and they never hear from you again. So, and that's also why we have the Facebook groups. So to get in contact with the whole group and ask questions.
And there's a lot of people that are even in here tonight that are having huge success with just offline word of mouth. Some even going to just their local chamber of commerce meetings and talking to people about it, because people are hearing in the news already what's going on with digital currency. They're hearing on what's going with the fiat currency. They're getting nervous. So when you present this to people and say, hey, there's an option to diversify, where you've got your money, people are keen to listen to what you have to say. And I know there's people directly on my team that are doing an awesome job of just going out and talking to people, and they don't have any link. They're doing some old-fashioned, old-school stuff, but it's working and it's converting. So I'm really impressed at how well offline. Everybody wants to do the easy way on social media. Everybody wants to do the easy way, sending out an email. It's the people that are willing to go out and talk to people face to face or get on the phone that are seeing some of the highest conversion rates.
Yeah, and I know I've said this before. I mean, this is one of the greatest responses that I've seen with in this particular when it comes to opportunity type marketing, and honestly, it was growing so fast. There were so many people coming in that it was almost too much. Like with what we had when we were first getting started, there were almost too many people joining And that's why we needed to get more of a foundation in place before we can really accommodate the kind of growth that's possible. So it's once we have the gateway, like Rodney said, this thing is about to go ballistic.
I know it is. I know it is. It's the same thing with my team, guys. It's just everybody just using word of mouth, just sharing it. One guy, he wants to make flyers like Kamal did. I said, go for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I get phone calls every day. Rodney, how can I get in? I heard about the delays. I heard about the issues. I don't care. I understand. I trust you, Rodney. And I'm not myself, Bryant, Michael Mansell. We're not here trying to rob, steal, defraud, scam anyone. So whatever you may see in any of these crazy blogs, you guys know us. We're not like that. We didn't get our names, like this in the industry, being scammers, being people who are out there trying to deliberately scam you. A name like that, we wouldn't be where we are today. So please believe me, do not get into the media. Everybody always sends me, oh, did you read this right here? Did you hear about this right here? I really don't get into that. I don't give these guys, any press. You know what I mean? I don't give them any press. And all they're trying to do is just get clicks. And I don't really knock a business for trying to get paid, but I do knock when you're trying to bring down something that's doing well, or maybe it's misunderstood. And a lot of us as individuals have been misunderstood. And our deed might be one thing, but what's in our heart is another. So just keep that in mind when you're reading all these crazy articles out there or sending me inboxes saying, did you read this? Did you read that? Did you read that there is a global manhunt looking for you? There's a global manhunt looking for you, like I'm Bin Laden or something. You know what I mean? It's crazy out there. I wonder how the global manhunt, when I went through customs, they didn't arrest me in customs. I don't understand that, But there's a global manhunt and Interpol looking for me. I was right there in the airport, probably the only black guy in Asia.
Well, and I'll just add to that one of the big tell signs about the fact that this thing in Thailand is not what some of these websites are making it out to be, because some of the big leaders like ourselves on this webinar here and others, we're not hiding our tail behind our between our legs and running away. You guys got to understand, we've got money that we've put into this as well, quite a bit of money. And so it's not like if there was any sense that we thought in any ounce that there was an issue or a problem, we would be the first ones to stand up and say, whoa, what's going on here? Because we're heavily invested, both reputation, financially, and energy into what Ufun is doing. And I haven't seen one single leader or a person put their tail between their legs and run the other way. And to me, that speaks a volume to the fact that we're way bigger than Thailand. I mean, have you ever looked at Thailand on a map? It's tiny. We're way bigger than that.
Right.
That's a great
point. Jamison?
Well, I just wanted to say, looking at the panel here, Bryant Barbie, Michael Mansell, Rodney Burton, these guys are highly skilled marketers. These are people that can make money with anything. And so there's a reason why all of us are involved with UToken and so excited about this opportunity. We don't need to take advantage of people to make money. So
yeah,
we're all doing this for a reason.
Jamison, Michael Mansell, Brian, we have other things that we do, to earn money. Today if I had to, to stop doing this, I wouldn't miss a beat. Don't get me wrong. However, it's not about me. It's not about Michael Mansell. It's not about Bryant. It's about the teams that we created. And we don't want you to miss a beat either. We want you to do well. So that's the reason why we stand in the gap and stand strong to make sure that, hey, we're taking the flights. We're going out there. We're doing whatever we can to keep things rolling so you can do well. It's not about it's not about me. It's about us as a team. So that is the reason why, That's the reason why people will be rewarded, and this came from Daniel Dado himself. You will be rewarded for standing in the gap. So look for those updates in the back office. Look for my post in the group, so you'll see exactly what they're offering for those who stand in the gap. John says the price is only dependent on people joining the Ufun. Am I right? No, John, you're not right. the price, depending on the U token, has a lot of variables. One is based upon the investments that these guys invest in, and the profits from that then are put back into the system, which helps the price of the shares rise. Am I correct, Jamison?
Yeah, absolutely. And someone has asked before, well, what's the exact percentage of this and that? We don't know. But we're watching the company. We're going out to the events. We're watching the agreement ceremonies of multi-billion-dollar projects. And so, I don't care what the exact percentage from Gateway Clang, what's flown. I got that. I mean, if you go to the events, which I highly recommend that those of you watching this, that you make it to one of the events, one of the ones that are coming up here, and you get to meet the people, you get to sit down and you get to hear more of the plan, the vision, and what the company's up to, you'll have a lot more faith in the entire project. We got to get you out there, Bryant and Michael Mansell. We got to get you guys out there.
Yeah, once you get out there, man, and I've already talked to the heads. In the next, real huge event, I'm gonna try to get all of the leaders that on our team taken care of, flown out there. I mean, I'm working on that diligently, and they have no problems with it. They see that you're doing well, and you're putting your foot down, making it happen. They'll fly you out there, and they spare no expense in making sure that you're taken care of. Believe you me, these guys, I mean, think about this. Since Christmas, I've been to Doha, Qatar, Dubai, Indonesia, Jakarta, Indonesia. I've been to Malaysia. I've been to, all over the Asian world, and it's the first quarter of the year. And I've enjoyed, though it was a lot of work and a lot of meetings, I've enjoyed, the actual camaraderie and learning more about this market. I mean, I would have never gotten to this. There's the reason why I missed out on Bitcoin, because I was ignorant. I didn't know any better about Bitcoin. I didn't know, and now I see all these multimillionaires became successful because of Bitcoin. All the trouble they went through, I didn't know about it. They were called scam too. But now you can go for a lot of things. You can use Bitcoin to pay for in a lot of different places. I think that some of the plans that we have right now, that myself, Michael Mansell, and Casey in the company are talking about right now, is being able to accept Bitcoin even to buy our packages or use the Ufun. So that's also in the talks. I think another question was asked. I hope that answered your question, John.
Rodney,
the gateway.
about the office being open in the U.S. Can you answer that?
The office being open in the U.S. coming soon. We're trying to get what we have right now all taken care of, all these bumps and bruises that we're taking across the head. Get that stuff taken care of. Get our compliance in order first to make sure that, when we cross that border, then that'd be a good deal to do. Today, not today, because we want to get sure compliance and everything is straight before we jump. The office is actually already there. It's just not going to fill it with people and information or anything yet because when we were right in the middle of doing that, that's when all this stuff happened. In the U.S. right now, we're very, very small. On the scheme of things, we're on the tip like an iceberg. I mean, there's less than 3,000 people, less than 2,000 people who are total in all of the U.S. that's inside of Ufun. I mean, so just understand that 2,000, 3,000 max, I believe. So, and we're not complaining. We're not making complaints. I mean, it's just on a small scale. So as soon as everything gets clear, the gateway is open, and Paul, I think to answer your question, you will be able to buy any package you choose with, I think, up to a 5-star with the gateway. You'll be able to do it from your bank account straight to the e-wallet. Now, you cannot do that with a debit card. There will be a limit as far as your debit card or your credit card, because some U.S. accounts have stipulations on what you can and cannot do. But on your ACH part, you'll be able to do, I think, as much as you want. Okay? And look for that information within the next day or two in your back office and updates. If it's there, I'll let you guys know immediately when it's there. so that you can go in there and learn how to do it. It's real simple, real easy. Myself and Michael and Jamison and Bryant will do team videos for you guys so you can see like it's watching over our backs on how to do that. Okay? So hope that answers your question. Also, Paul and John. Okay, guys, I think we answered a lot of the questions. What do you think, Jamison, Michael, Bryant?
Absolutely. I want to say one more thing, just to kind of get things in perspective. I know I talked a little bit about this before, but again, you know, what we see as part of the vision is, and I highly recommend that you search on Google digital currency bigger than internet, because I don't recall the individual that was talking about that, but there's a lot of information along those lines, Forbes magazine and a lot of different, I mean, we're staring at one of the biggest trends and one of the biggest paradigm shifts for the financial industry that we're going to see in our lifetime. And this is a way for us to get out in front of that and capitalize on that. And so, I mean, that's one of the reasons that I'm involved with this. And it even goes beyond that. And I won't go into that tonight. It's a movement. Okay, this is bigger. It's deeper than we will go into tonight. But there's a lot to it. And again, this is your chance to get out in front of one of the biggest changes that we're going to see, and that's pretty exciting. It's exciting that you even know about this right now, because most people out there don't, but you do, and this is something to think about.
I mean, how many times have you seen something on the internet or on commercials and say, man, I wish I got in when they got in. I wish I was there when it first got started. I wish I was in Microsoft. I wish I was that guy who got with Mark Zuckerberg. I wish I was that guy who got it, with Steve Jobs or Microsoft or whatever, or Amway or whatever it is. And do we have the answers to everything? Do we have a crystal ball? Let me tell you something. If I did have a crystal ball right now, and I looked into this Ufun thing, and I saw this Ufun thing, then I would say, I got to get in now. Because I don't know where it's going, but it looks like it might be great. I mean, there are a lot of things, man, that you do in life, and hopefully it's going to be like this. Some will fall, but more would rise. We're not going to, I mean, when you're at the plate and you're batting, I mean, I can't help but keep on swinging and hope to hit a home run. And a few times I hit a home run when no one else would have swung, and a home run came. And did some things fall through? Yeah, some things are going to fall through. And you know what? From today on in life, some more things are going to fall through, but I'm going to keep swinging my bat no matter what. I'm not going to do anything ridiculous, but I'm going to keep swinging the bat with hoping on hitting a home run as many times as I can. Just like Babe Ruth. He was the one who swung the bat the most and had the most strikeouts, but his home runs made his name. The home runs made his name. And no one talks about all the strikeouts. You see people like Jamison and Bryant and Michael and myself, and you say, oh, these guys are already successful or whatever. Man, you weren't there when the strikeouts were happening. And right now they're trying to strike us out again, but it ain't going to happen. We're going to stand and keep on swinging, till there's no more bat left. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just share something real quick because we've got to wrap this up. But I can still very vividly remember a few years ago looking at guys, like I'd get on a webinar just like this, and I would look at guys that were presenting and they were speaking and thinking, man, I wish I had what they had. I wish I had the know-how to do what they do. And then one day I realized, like, wait a second, they were probably no different than I am right now, thinking I wish I was doing what those guys were doing, or I wish I knew what to do like those guys are doing. And it was just a conscious decision to say, I can do whatever I put my mind to. I can swing my bat just as hard as anybody else can, and you go out and you do it. You create your own person, and that's what we're doing here. Each one of us on this webinar is creating our own life. We're going against the trend. People are going to push back when we try to change the status quo of what other people just go through life expecting and getting the norm. We don't expect the norm. We don't accept ordinary. We go for extraordinary. and you have to go in the face of normal people that are just being sheeples and taken day by day and not doing anything different with their lives. People are not going to like that, and you got to push through those crowds of people. I liken it to pushing through a bunch of zombies from The Walking Dead. They're going to bite you. They're going to try to scratch at you. They're going to try to infect you with their disease.
That's right.
But you got to keep swinging that bat at their brains to make sure that they don't get in your way. And you got to keep pushing through those zombies until you get to the other side where you create your own new world.
Yeah, that's right.
You're so right. You're so right. Right, and just like what you just said about Babe Ruth, you know, you only need 40% to be a Hall of Famer. That's all you need. You don't need to do 100%. You know.
Right.
I wanted to tell you this. This is all about patience. You have to be patient, and keep persevering. You know, I was watching the fight the other night, and I saw on Pacquiao's pants, it was Air Asia. I said, don't Air Asia take you token? I said, so see, they're out already.
Yeah.
You just got to be patient, keep persevering. The whole thing, like Jamison said, you want to have as many U tokens as you possibly can get your hands on. So that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, let me give you a little update before we get out of here, James. I know the time is going fast. But just guys, as far as the new points that are coming, give it until Wednesday for the new points to come. The money that just has been sent. We're also, I just messaged everybody about turning your tip accounts to permanent accounts. So waiting for an answer for that right about now. So I have some information to you guys in about like 24 to 48 hours. They also gave us an extra 2 weeks or so to get these tip accounts to permanent. So they extended it so nobody's accounts will be canceled or anything like that who has a tip account. So don't worry about that. We're on top of that. When you guys don't see me online, believe me, I am working diligently in the background. I'm hammering Jamison. I'm hammering Casey. He's hammering Eddie, and he's hammering Dato. So we're all, working things out, and things will be a lot more smoother in the very near future. I know we keep saying soon is coming, but if we had magic wand to do it today, we would. So we're just working with what we got, and that's that major update that everybody wants to know. Antoine, you want a cap like mine? Inbox me.
Yeah. Rodney's the only one that's got the cap. So thank you guys for all coming on. The cap is going to go viral for sure, Rodney. So we're going to need to stock up on those.
Yeah.
But thank you, Bryant, Jamison, Rodney, for being here. Thank you, everybody else, for showing up. Share this webinar with all your team and anybody else that's interested in joining Ufun Dominators. Leverage our team, guys. It's a huge separator from anybody else out there that's talking digital currency, U-token, I don't care what it is. The value of our team and the community that we're building is bar none not equal to anything else. So be sure that you really talk about that and share our team and the value of our community that we're generating. So thank you guys for being on, and stay connected, stay plugged in, and we will see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take it easy, man. Next time, peace.
All right, peace, fellas.